We explore today the 10 thematic nucleo to be explored. No? After the presentation of the other 3 episodes, introduction about the Emmaus journey, and about the church being in the spirit of synodality in many moments in the history, although there are also dark moments in the history of the church, we go to this 10 thematic nucleo to be explored. So the first one is companions on the journey. Now, going to this point, we say, what are these companions? Of course, we can elaborate, but just some points I can say. Those who are side by side on the road, the same road. And of course, we know that in our society, side by side, we have the poor, the rich, the professional, the Christian, the Muslim. So practically those who journey together. Now, who are those who journey together? Just a few points. They are not only those who belong to our culture and religion, because this is one of the great problems in the church today. There is a tendency to do things inside the circle of the parish or the diocese, and we forget that the companions of the journey in our society are so many. And not only those who are part of our group. So there is, of course, the tendency to give more attention to our group. Of course, if we have a group, a certain institution, we give an attention. But that is not a reason to close ourselves and say, I did my part. No. This is an occasion to open ourselves to the others. And also, not only those who are in our Christian community. So I believe each one of us can develop this point, because really this is the great problem of the church today. We need to extend the so-called companions on the road. Now, in fact, Pope Francis not long ago used an expression that I like very much: go to the peripheries. With that expression, it's practically what I said before, to go to others, to take attention to others. So the preparatory document presents this theme as the first of the 10 themes that we have to consider. Because if we do not consider this, it seems that we enjoy in some topic, but not together. And that is not synodality. Of course, when we talk in details, there are degrees, and with some groups we talk in this way, other in that way. But what is important, to journey together according to what they are and what they wish to be. No? The other point is, of course, there are many documents in the church inviting us to open the horizon of charity and to reach out to all. We can see not only the documents, but in the life of the saint, or many great personality. Maybe we can remember in a more recent time, Mother Teresa, others. There are so many good examples, and the Pope reminds us, do in the same way according to your possibility. And the next point is a kind of reflection that for those who know a little bit the journey of the church, especially from the Vatican II up to now, we can say that there are many documents. One of the documents that for me is very fundamental in the line of this journey together is there is a document, the Ecclesian Sua. It's an encyclical of Paul VI during the time of, we can say, of the Vatican II, and he presents the idea of four circles of this great community of humanity. So those who are part of the same society, humanity, so the larger circle. And so we enter in the context of interreligious dialogue, in the context of dialogue with this society, with this problematic. We enter in the context of many other issues. And after the other circle that sometimes many forget in the church is those who belong to the different religions. And this is a point that requires a great determination, because sometimes some do not know the other religion, they are afraid, they have maybe a bad experience. This can be practically also for, we are in Mindanao, and we have in the reality of living together, Muslim, Christian, and the history is not very peaceful. So remain a lot of point to be improved. In this presentation of Ecclesian Sua, the other circle are those Christians who are part of the other Christian denomination. So, and this is the so-called ecumenism. In one word, what we normally we try to see sometimes when we go on details, talking with the dialogue people of other religions, we say in the religious dialogue. When we talk with dialogue inside the Christian community of different denominations, the appropriate word is ecumenism. And the inner circle, we can say, those who are part of the same church, the same Catholic Church, this mother church that give us a lot of inspiration. So we move in this direction. Now, what are the limitations in this new journey of synodality? We focus here in our reflection on how we can reach people of other religions. So clear there are limitations in this dialogue. I know that different dioceses or communities say, yes, we're supposed to do, but we are not so open to dialogue. I've been talking also with priests and even bishops. They rediscover something that they know, but they feel that really this call of the church is important, and hopefully will be a kind of new revolution inside the church in the proper way to reach out. The other point is in the context of Mindanao and other part of the world, we find difficulty to enter in dialogue, especially with the Muslim. We know the history of conflict, Muslim, Christian in the history. No need to go back to century ago, the crusade or the attack of Christian communities in Africa, Europe, and other part. This is a history of sadness. What we go today, no? We know that there are difficulties also in Mindanao, the conflict still going on, the misunderstanding, but there are also good experience of dialogue, and I believe this is our specific mission. The other point is what we have done up to now. Even this, we can have a list of many things done up to now. And in the journey of the Catholic Church, in general, we already mentioned before in the previous episode about especially Vatican II, other things, but we can, as a group, we reflect what we have done, what we can do more, because these are the point. We cannot say, okay, pazienza na lang, we cannot, we are not so good in this point. So if we know that something has to improve, so what we can do more now? In this contest, the companions on the journey are those who enter in the so-called category of the peripheries. We mentioned before the expression of Pope Francis that go to the peripheries. And of course, there are different forms of peripheries. We don't say in the contest or in a family, sometimes people do not give attention to some member of the family, but we go to the peripheries in general. People that normally we do not reach because it's difficult to reach, because we are afraid, because of some cultural aspect. And this synod on synodality is a challenge to break all these kind of categories, and of course require a lot of prayer, sharing, and also knowledge how really things can be done. I believe we in Silsila, Emmaus, we have this special mission, and I'm happy when I think about steps done long ago until now, and I know that when we started, we said to the Christian to bring this to a spiritual dimension. We emphasize the Beatitude as a focus for the spiritual dimension of the Christians. We emphasize the great jihad, the great struggle, purification of the heart. In this context, we talk about the culture of dialogue with God, ourselves, others, and creation. And many things can be said. All these things help to strengthen the communication, the relation, the encounter between different cultures, and to promote dialogue and peace by giving priority in the context of Mindanao, I have in mind, to Muslim indigenous people. Of course, the indigenous people is another category that in the context of Mindanao, in other part of the Philippines, it's important because they have their identity, and there is a tendency to destroy that identity, of taking advantage of their identity, their land, their culture, and this is something that the church has to address more and better. Now, as a concrete experience, our experience of gathering young leaders, actually for this, we can say, episode, at the end of my sharing, I will present something very touching. It was like a gathering in a certain poor area in Zamboanga, where we have a kind of center especially for orphans. These orphans are especially children that became orphans because of violence. Normally the father had been killed, and can be orphans Muslim, can be orphans Christian. We have experience of companion orphans that they realized that the father of this orphan killed the father of this orphan, and so dramatic, and now they became friends. Now we put this in the context of the celebration of the World Interfaith Harmony Week, and in that context we choose as our special attention is a group, emerging group, that we call Young Leader for Dialogue and Peace. These are Muslim and Christian. In reality, this group have been there. These young people have been there since the time they were young students, and now they form in a more formal way this kind of structure, and it's very, very important for us. And it was an occasion to invite all to be creative in their own way. So, because in reality, this is one of the points that we face today. At the end, some people can say, yes, all these are beautiful ideas, but pandemic, we cannot do so much. We can say, yes, can be done something in this spirit of journey together. So we stop. Friends, today I have with me a dear friend, Benur Asid, Dr. Benur Asid, who is part of the family of Silsila. Your mother is very young, no? And how many years ago you started to be with us?
I think it's 20 years ago.
20 years ago. Very good. And along the years, you learn many things,
Yes,
many
course.
friends, Muslim, Christian. And we are a journey together. Now it's very busy, important person, the library of the University of Wimsa in Zamboanga. And what I like to say that when in Rome the Commission for Interreligious Dialogue in Pontifical Council asked me, a good person, a good Muslim who can have the opportunity to have a training in Rome. Before the year before, I sent another committed Muslim lady, and after Benur.
Yeah.
How you experience in Rome?
Yeah, it's a wonderful experience, Father.
Oh,
It is a
okay.
priceless experience. Yeah.
6 months.
6 months.
I know
Yeah.
that you were afraid. What
Yes.
was your fear in Rome?
Yeah, one of my fears is, of course, no, maybe I will be, sometimes I will be engulfed with the culture of the
Okay.
Catholic, but no, they are very much open.
Okay.
Those perception was really eliminated.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that it's good. And you brought this experience here,
Yes.
and you are the key person of a new group that we started. We call Young Leader for Dialogue and
Yeah,
Peace.
yeah.
Can you say the composition? They are only Muslim, only Catholic. What are the composition?
Actually, Father, no, thank you very much. So again, for that opportunity, when I came back to the Philippines, I became the coordinator of this group, the Young Leaders for Dialogue and Peace. No, and this is a composition of young professionals from different sectors, from private and public sectors, with their own specialization. So there are Muslims, there are Catholics, and other living faiths. So we journey together.
We started with those who have been with us, like
Yes.
you, not only 20 years,
Years.
could be 15 years, 10 years,
Yeah.
but part of the journey of Silsila. A few days ago, I saw one common friend, is now a director of a media or television, and he's still proud to be part, and he still remember what he learned,
Yeah.
and he tried to apply.
A lot of things, Father, to be learned in Silsila when I was here. A lot of things that is my foundation where I am now, to tell you honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now this group is growing, no?
Yeah.
And I choose you and talking about this group because the topic that we share today is companions on the journey. Actually, it's the first topic of this important renewal of the church that is called the Synodal Church. with the hope that the church will be more open, even to people other faith, other religion. Pope Francis say, go to the peripheries, not only in the
Yeah.
circle of the church.
Yes.
And this is happening. And of course, I remember many things. How I was so really touched because you are leading a group. Now we have online because of
Yeah.
this, but there are participants from different countries, part of our group. How is that?
Yeah, so actually, Father, it is also a good opportunity. We take this pandemic as also an opportunity in terms of the online delivery. So we were able to connect, no? To connect with our young professionals, okay, the youth of Silsila Youth, no, before. So we were able to connect with them with this technology around the world. So we invite them to share. We have our online, a monthly online dialogue. Then as a reflection, we have a reflective sharing. So we are inviting each of them to share the experience with Silsila, what's the impact of Silsila to their life, okay? And of course, to the workplace, and the challenges that they are meeting now, and how they cope up with these challenges with the intervention or the foundation that they have in Silsila.
In fact,
Yeah.
already our those who follow this, before this conversation, they
Yeah.
saw something about a concrete experience we did during the World Interfaith Harmony Week few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And how was that experience?
Yeah, to tell you, that is so touching experience, Father, to tell you honestly, because most of us, there were 14 young leaders, 15, no, including Anne is there also, was there. So 15 young leaders who experience, actually, we are not expecting that kind of audience that we have, okay, because our thinking is just orphan, but we don't know where they coming from.
In fact, these
yeah.
orphans are, you can say, special
Yeah.
orphans in
Yeah.
the sense, orphans are those who lose their parents or one of the parents.
Yeah.
But these orphans became orphans because sometimes years ago, it was a very dramatic killing between groups, Muslim, Christian, and of course many of these children remain orphans. So these are the orphans of violence, you know?
Yeah. That was surprising, Father, because we facilitated the group. Okay, we divide them into, I think it's 6 groups. We divide them into according to levels. Then in the sharing, so sharing, we are able to take note of how the impact of Silsila to their lives and where they coming from. So that really touches our hearts, that these orphans are not just simple orphans, but there's something that affects why they became orphans.
Of course, I was happy to see the preparation and the commitment of these students, orphans, who really are committed. And also, of course, we talk in general, no? How really the Muslim community today journey with the Christian, especially the Catholic. Do you think there are obstacles to be removed? What are the obstacles?
I think those are something, the fears.
Fear, that is one.
The fear.
Why fear?
Because fear they may be seeing that this is Christian, this is because maybe of the religious our affiliation, religious affiliation. So maybe they will be influenced this kind of practices. So that is the fear, no? So that is one that I can see, the fear, Father. Then fear can be interpreted in many ways.
But also the Christian have
Also,
a fear of the
also
Muslim.
vice versa.
Because in this area, unfortunately, the history, the Muslim, of course, is historical fact, but there are rebels group, and of course, the last sad event in Zamboanga in 2013, the siege, coming from a certain group that identifies a Muslim, although with a certain identity. So all this remain in the mind, and how to remove this fear, because you're Muslim, I'm a Christian, and we are working together, and no matter how it's we do a lot, process is slow. What we can do more?
I think that is that we did in the World Interfaith Harmony Week. That is an offshoot, or that could be a good example where all of us, no, different religions, different faiths came together, work together, then make an activity. That is one because looking into their eyes of the of their orphans and of course the parents, you can really see while we are facilitating, you can really see how their trust with us, their trust, and of course they feel more secure because maybe we are from Silsila, and this how we know that how Silsila, the impact of Silsila to their lives. So the trust and we can see also in their eyes the hopes, the hopes.
My joy is that all of you represent a certain sector in an office, in a university, in a school, and most of you are really committed. So remain something. And this is what the church wants to do, how to bring the Christians to that level, because it's not enough to say, yes, the church is good because there is a priest who do silsila. Okay, that is a good example, but how this good example can be multiplied more? And of course, there are many other good examples. It's not the only silsila, but still things can be done. What we can do?
It's a very generic, Father. When you talk about activities, no, the church can do, like for example, we have to. I know the church already is doing already, moving already to the community. So it's a continuous activity of the church to work together with other living faiths, to support the interreligious activities. It's not only just a support, but a strong support from this from the church, from the church, and of course to partner with them. Number 3 is they have to partner with the academe, because you know how teachers, the teachers, the role of the teachers, how important, the significant role of the teachers in the classroom, how they can teach, the students, small students.
In Rome, when you were in Rome, we have many occasions to see how there is an effort international gathering, especially with Pope Francis. Pope Francis, the one who initiated this, and he said to be open to the peripheries. And I know that you met Pope Francis. You are more fortunate than me. I never met personally him. You met him personally, and even he said to you something very strange but very positive.
You are a smuggler. She said to me, when that word came from him. It's
why
because,
smuggler?
Because my love for my Christian friends in the Philippines, and of course where I stayed in Rome in the lay center. So I presented to him the 158 rosaries, and then I asked him to bless the rosaries, and then he said, "Oh, you are a smuggler."
What the Muslims said when you came here with the rosary, and they probably say to you, what happened in Rome? You with your rosary, you became Christian. How you explain to them?
No, actually, Father, they don't even comment. They don't really say anything. But they opened it. Anyway, it's another practice. What's important, I am also deepening my own faith. That is also helping. Also, that is also I am just an instrument, no, to other
kind of solidarity, what
yes.
the other group like and practice, and said that we try to do this even in our places when it's Ramadan, the
Yeah.
Christian go to the Muslim, the Muslim during other celebration,
Yeah.
Christian go to the Christian, but still a lot of things to do. And of course, companions of the journey, it's okay, Muslim, because
Yeah.
it's a reality here,
Yeah.
but also other sector of society, no?
Yeah.
And practically, one of the great point for this, why they put at the beginning, the church, and so Pope Francis want that the church go outside the the place of
Yeah.
the church, you know. And now there is a hope. You have been in Rome, you know your companions in that group were of different nationalities,
Yes,
no?
different nationalities. Yeah.
So there is a hope, no?
Yes.
So how we can bring this spirit, because I know, in fact, I do these things, I believe, you know, a little bit because of your experience, and what we can do more, no?
Yeah.
To inspire other people.
Continue, Father. Continue what we are doing now. Strength, continue the link, continue the connection with them, constant communication, and of course, until now we are doing something like we the Nostra Aetate group. We are still last February, I think February 8th, February 15, no, to February 15. We also we have a gathering, no, with the Father Marcos in Rome and other scholars of the Nostra Aetate.
What is Nostra Aetate? Because many do not know what is Nostra Aetate.
Yeah, I know that Nostra Aetate means to say in our time.
Yes,
In our time,
it's a special document of Vatican II talking about in the religious dialogue.
Yeah.
And that with that name of the document, this kind of scholarship was promoted, and so although you were a different part of nationality. And now we are about to close, and we can say what we can do more. I know that among the other things, being a librarian, you put in the library a corner for interreligious dialogue. Tell me what we can do, and probably your final message for this occasion.
Of course, no, Father. Again, no. So as a librarian, I like what Pope Francis have said, that we are not just going to stay in the four corners of our library. No? We have to go to communities. That is why we are strengthening. We are strengthening our what is this? Our help, our assistance to others. Okay, like we go to Olo, to Basilan, to share our expertise. Okay, so we go to communities. This is one of the examples in our profession. So for here, no, in our as a young leader for Dialogue and Peace, we also work. No, we also work not only for our group, but also for other people. Okay, that is more for others. Okay, we move to the community, and that is one of the examples. Is that we have the World Interfaith Harmony activity in Mampang.
Yes.
And with that, Father, just to just to share with you. I know it's documented, but not to. I'm very happy with that activity because of the activity. One of the had given me an impact to my professional career. After that, I was I just relate it to you now that I am recognized as the most outstanding Man of the Year for the Samba Sulta for humanitarian service.
Very good.
So that's because of the maybe it's not only the work that we are showing; it's already an advocacy that we have.
So I hope we conclude with this best wishes, and we conclude that really we have to be always outstanding, no? Sometimes we receive a word, recognition, and okay, we are happy, but the recognition must be a more a sign of commitment.
Mm.
I can say this is a challenge for all of us, and I believe if we really believe in the mission, all this happen, and along the way we will have surprise. Surprise sometimes beautiful like this
Yeah.
recognition, sometimes not so beautiful. Somebody do not recognize, talk against us, etc. But if we are sincere and we continue, really what Pope Francis say in this thematic, companions of the journey, we cannot be discouraged, because in reality many people, Christian, start the journey with beautiful ideas, and after, when there are the first problems, they surrender. They said, "Indi puede," it's not possible. And we say always padayon. This is an expression that Sila care, not only is a one expression, but the time when years ago one of our group, Father Salvatore Carceda, was killed, and the group was in pain, and even some people told us, "You stop, it's difficult, it's dangerous," but we were Muslim Christian together in front of the coffin of Father Salvatore, and we say padayon. And God is blessing us to give a lot of good people like Benur and many others who are with us. Thank you very much, and padayon.